Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Latoya Wells with Wells Legacy Health and Wellness, welcoming you to another episode of Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Latoya Wells. I'm so glad that you're here. And this month, we're going to be talking about several different health topics. And the first one that we're going to be talking about is our kidneys. March is known for several different health conditions. And as you all know, I like to touch on the things that I feel are relevant to my community and my population of patients and those that I follow, my family and my friends, the colleagues and the like, and neighbors or whoever you are. I know that something that I say tonight or on any of these Wednesdays can be applied to someone, either our lives or someone that we know. So tonight we're going to be talking about our kidneys, protecting our kidneys. They are considered to be the silent workforces of the body. And it's National Kidney Month, as well as several other conditions that we're going to be talking about. And today we're going to talk about something that many people don't think about until there's a problem. And typically, our kidneys are silent until there's an issue. Kidney disease is silent until there is a issue. Similar to hypertension, high blood pressure, it's called the silent killer. And many times you don't know that you have an issue until the issue is there. And the same holds true with our kidneys. So we're going to talk about the kidneys. They're small, but they're incredibly powerful when it comes to their job and their function within our bodies. These small organs are responsible for several major things within our body. They filter waste, they balance fluid, they regulate our blood pressure, they help produce red blood cells, and it keeps our body chemically balanced. And so, if we don't take care of our kidneys, then they begin to have some issues. And the challenge with this is that our kidney disease is often silent, and many people have it and don't know that they have it until it's too late. So tonight we're going to talk about why kidney health matters, who is at most risk for it, what foods support kidney health, warning signs that we need to be looking at, and what questions you need to be asking your healthcare provider when you go for your appointments. So, chronic kidney disease is a major public health concern. According to the CDC and the National Kidney Foundation, 37 million adults in the United States have chronic kidney disease. 37 million. That's 1 in 3 adults who are at risk for kidney disease at some point in stage of their life. 90% of people with kidney disease don't know they have it. That's a huge number. 90% of individuals who have kidney disease don't know that they have it. And some of the major risk factors for developing kidney disease, as we've talked about before, diabetes is the leading cause of kidney disease. Diabetes is a progressive disorder as we talked about previously, and it impacts the kidneys and it impacts several other organs. But many individuals who have chronic kidney disease also have diabetes, high blood pressure. We've talked about high blood pressure and the impact that can have on our kidneys, heart disease, family history, being obese, and over the age of 60. These are things that put us at higher risk for developing chronic kidney disease. In certain communities, including the Black Americans, experience higher rates of kidney disease than other individuals and kidney failure due to increased rates of hypertension and diabetes. This population of individuals, my people, are at a higher risk because of the propensity for them to have hypertension and diabetes. Like the higher rates of hypertension and diabetes in this community increases their risk and their rates of developing kidney disease. And this is why awareness and prevention is so important. Many times we are reactive when it comes to our health when we should really be focusing on being proactive. And so these Wellness Wednesdays is one of the ways that I am helping you all be proactive about your health care. So what patients should know, what you should know, there are different stages of kidney disease, and it develops in stages. And many times those early stages, individuals don't know that they have it. And then once they find out that they have it, it's at a higher stage. So in the early stages, there are often no symptoms of kidney disease. As the kidney function declines, symptoms may include the following. You may feel really tired or fatigued. You may notice swelling in your legs or your ankles. You may notice that you're urinating a lot more at night. You're getting up at night to go urinate. May notice the change of your urine, the change of the appearance of your urine. So your urine may look more foamy. It may be darker. You may feel nauseous. There may be some difficulty concentrating. The kidney's role also in we mentioned earlier what our kidneys do, but it plays a major role in regulating blood pressure and our electrolyte imbalance and your bone health and producing red blood cells. So when the kidneys begin to fail, dialysis or transplant is required. But as we move through the different stages of kidney disease, you have stage one chronic kidney disease, you have stage two, three, and stage four chronic kidney disease. And as you begin to progress through the different phases of the kidney disease, then those signs and symptoms can be magnified or be compounded. And so, one of the things that can happen is if an individual, if it's not caught early enough, or if it progresses to a higher stage, your kidneys begin to fail. And individuals will have to go on dialysis or on a transplant list to see if they can receive a new kidney. I had an aunt who required a kidney transplant, and I was amazed when I was speaking with the doctor and trying to understand everything that was happening with her and where they actually placed the kidney. I was in there asking a lot of questions, and I was amazed. I had a friend who got a kidney transplant, and watching her go through that process, I remember getting the phone call. Two of us. It was me and my really good friend, and we were, I think, at Busch Gardens, I believe we were, or Universal somewhere. And we got the call that she got the call for her kidney. We were ecstatic. We were really ecstatic. And hers came from lupus. So it was an autoimmune disorder that, attacked her kidneys. And so, on top of all the other things that we talked about, autoimmune disorders are also reasons that individuals develop chronic kidney disease. So, there are some things that we can do as healthcare providers that will help us monitor and really look after the health of your kidneys. And so when you're getting your annual health exams done, your wellness done, exams done, or your yearly physical exams done, there's certain blood work that should be ordered by your healthcare provider. And if they're not ordering that blood work, then I need you to get something out, jot these things down. And I want you to make sure that you're asking when you go for your blood work and making sure that these things are included. Most of the time, they're included on your standard yearly blood work that you get. One is the blood creatinine. So the creatinine and the estimated GFR, which is a glomerular filtration rate. The other one is a urine albumin test. And then blood pressure monitoring. You want to make sure that you're monitoring your blood pressure. I'm going to take a side trip here for all my individuals, all my patients, all the people that I know who have high blood pressure. You need to be monitoring your blood pressure, because how do you know that the blood pressure medication is working if you're not checking your blood pressure? We're doing ourselves a disservice. And as we know, hypertension can affect the kidneys. And so you must be checking your blood pressure at least once a week. I would say daily, honestly. And keeping those notes, keeping record of those blood pressure readings, and bringing it to your healthcare provider. Because if you come in and your blood pressure is elevated, we want to see what your blood pressure has been over the last 30 days, because that tells us whether or not we need to adjust something. Do we need to lower the dose of the medication? Do we need to increase? Is there something that we can do naturally that can help? All of those things play an important part in the overall picture of your health. Some nutrition, again, as I mentioned, plays a powerful role in protecting our kidneys. And we're going to talk about that. The focus on foods that support blood pressure and blood sugar control is where we want to be focusing on for individuals who have kidney issues. You have some issues with your kidneys. Your doctor told you that maybe your numbers were a little low or a little high, things of that nature. There's some foods that you can eat that can help. So here are some of the examples: green leafy foods like kale, arugula, spinach, whole grains, the quinoa, brown rice, oats can help. Healthy proteins like the fish and the beans, edamame and turkey are helpful. Heart healthy fats. Heart healthy fats. We talked about this before. The olive oil, the avocados, the nuts in moderation, because too many nuts can increase your cholesterol. And then hydration, making sure that you're staying hydrated. How many glasses of water? How many ounces of water each day? How often? How many ounces should you have in a day? We've already talked about it. Typically, it should be half your body weight in ounces that you're drinking in water each day. And again, if you have kidney issues, if you have congestive heart failure, make sure you talk with your provider about it. Don't just take what I say and run with it. If you have issues, medical issues, if you have something going on, always, always, always have a conversation with your healthcare provider before you start anything. I'm just giving you some tips and suggestions and things of that nature. I'm not your healthcare provider, so I can't prescribe a diet for you. I can't prescribe medication for you. And so just want to put that out. Most adults should aim for adequate water intake again, unless you have been directed by your healthcare provider. Try to limit excess sodium. And I know, listen, I'm a salty when it comes to my taste aversions or preferences. I prefer salty crunchy foods, right? And so I have to be mindful of that. My body doesn't process sodium like everybody else, so I require a little more sodium than a normal person. I just know my body. I've been directed by my healthcare provider to make sure that I'm getting in enough sodium. And typically, I know my sodium levels are on the lower side when I start craving Gatorade because Gatorade is packed with sodium. And so I know when I need to add on the electrolytes. But there's ways to get the sodium with, healthy options as well. So avoiding excess sodium, highly processed foods, sugary beverages, these cause a strain on the kidneys over time. I can remember I went to see a patient and I did a visit with him in his home, and we did a urine sample on him, which we were doing on all of our patients. We would check for protein and glucose in the home. And this man's urine looked like tea or coffee. It was just that brown. And so we started having a conversation about what he drinks in a day. And I'm looking around and I'm noticing a lot of Publix sweet tea jugs and they're empty. Now I'm all for a good sweet tea. That's my thing. I love a sweet and I need it to be good and sweet, right? However, we have to make sure that it's all things in moderation. This gentleman was drinking 2 gallons of public sweet tea a day. And when they were on buy one, get one free, he was drinking up to 3 to 4 a day. And he said to me, that's it has water in it, right? I'm getting water through that. But he was killing his kidneys. His protein numbers were through the roof. His glucose was through the roof. His A1C was extremely high. Our machine would not even read it. And so we referred him to his provider. They sent him over to ER. He ended up having to go on dialysis. He was in stage 4 kidney failure and did not know it. Blood pressure was through the roof, but over time, his body just kind of adapted to it. So, with that being said, what are some questions that you should be asking your healthcare provider when you go? When it comes to your kidney health, patients, as a patient, you should feel empowered to ask questions and know that your questions are important and that you and your healthcare provider should have a relationship to where you can partner and it's okay to ask those questions and you don't feel rushed. So what are some of the important questions that I think that you should be asking? What is my kidney functioning? And that's going to be determined by that one lab that I talked about. It's called GFR. It's the glomerular filtration rate. And if I'm not saying that correctly, all my healthcare providers who watch, don't come for me in the chat. Glomerular filtration rate. I believe I said that correctly. And you want to know, do I have protein in my urine? Many times, individuals who have issues with their kidneys, they will begin to spill protein in their urine. Protein and glucose should not be in your urine. Blood should not be in your urine unless you are a woman who is menstruating. And outside of that, there should be no blood in your urine. Does my blood pressure affect my kidneys? You want to know what your blood pressure rates are. If you are someone who has hypertension and it's not controlled or it's not well controlled, then it could be impacting your kidneys. How often should I be getting my kidney functioning checked? Typically, it's once a year or every 6 months. If you have issues with your kidneys, then it may be checked a little more often than that. Are my medications safe for my kidneys? So, are you taking any medications or supplements that could further cause strain or damage to your kidneys? So NSAIDs like the Advil, things of that nature, too much of that can be a problem for your kidneys. And especially if you already have issues with your kidneys and you're taking certain things like Advil or any NSAID, that could potentially have more, cause more harm to your kidneys. Other supplements. Many times, individuals who are working out will take creatine. We have to be careful with that. All things in moderation. And you have to make sure that you are staying hydrated. That is the key. What diet changes would benefit me? And if your healthcare provider doesn't know, then maybe they can refer you to a nutritionist. And many health insurances now don't require you to have a referral. You can go online. Listen, if you're on social media, you can do a search for nutritionists that accept insurance and find someone that would help you make those healthy food choices that can be protective of your kidneys. So, what are some other things that we can do from a health and wellness standpoint to make sure that we're protecting our kidneys? And it comes down to protecting your overall health, right? If your whole body is jacked up, then you better know it. Your kidneys are going to be jacked up as well, most of the time, right? And so making sure that you are taking care of yourself from a holistic standpoint is important. So you want to one, focus on managing your blood pressure, controlling your blood sugar, maintaining healthy body weight. I want to go back to blood sugar. I don't know if you noticed, but there's so many individuals who have the glucose monitors, the continuous glucose monitors that they're wearing on their arm. Not all of those individuals are diabetic. Many of those individuals could be using it to make sure that they're monitoring their blood sugar for different reasons. Maintaining a healthy body weight, as we talked about. We know the BMI is based on your height and your weight. Find that BMI chart. See where you are based on your height and your weight. If you're in the overweight, obese category, then we need to look at how can we get your weight down to a healthy weight. And again, the BMI is just one measurement. And I will say that I think it's a little biased, but it gives us something to start with when we're looking at measurements and things of that nature. But your weight is more than just the number on the scale. How do you feel in your body? Is your body proportionate? Where is the fat, in your body? Where are you storing that excess fat? We want to know those things as well. So looking at you as a whole person, not just one piece, right? One piece of that puzzle. Staying hydrated. We talked about that. Limiting NSAID use. So that's the Advil. That's the um, naproxen. That's the um, Aleve. Things like that. Avoid smoking. Smoking can cause issues with your kidneys. And then making sure that you're getting your regular checkups. Preventative care saves lives. Proactive care saves lives. Many times because we're not being proactive, we're being reactive. And then now we're having to make decisions when individuals are in a highly stressful condition because now they're in the midst of a healthcare crisis and things are changing quickly and decisions have to be made quickly. But if we could just take a few minutes to make a few tweaks and changes and pivot when it comes to our health and the way that we're taking care of these bodies of ours, then we wouldn't have to worry about some of these things down the road. And if you are someone who is dealing with chronic kidney disease, make sure that you are following up with your provider as often as they need to see you, making sure that you're doing what you can from a health and wellness standpoint. In closing, I just want to talk about a few things. Your kidneys work for you every single day. When you're sleeping, we don't even have to think about it. They're doing what they're supposed to do. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of them. Prevention today, things that we do to change the outcome of our kidney health today will equal better health tomorrow and years to come. And if you have not had your kidney functioning checked recently, talk with your healthcare provider about that and make sure that when you get your blood work for your yearly exam, that it has those labs on there that are specific to your kidneys. And if you need support managing your blood pressure, diabetes, preventative care, we here at Wells Legacy Health and Wellness are ready to partner with you because together we're creating a legacy of good health. And we can only do that with you, right? As a healthcare provider, my goal, my aim, my job is to make sure that my patients, my community, and my family and friends have the information that they need to be able to advocate for themselves and to be able to create a legacy of good health. And you can only do that by being proactive and making sure that you're taking the steps that you need to take and that you're taking your health in your hands in making the changes. We can't make those changes for you, only you can. So take care of yourself, take care of your kidneys. And for those who are suffering and dealing with chronic kidney disease, whether it be from medication or high blood pressure, diabetes, or some type of autoimmune disorder, we see you, we hear you, we understand, and we're here to support you. This is Dr. Latoya Wells with Wells Legacy Health and Wellness. I have some exciting news. Effectively, Friday, March 6th, Wells Legacy Health and Wellness will be open full time. Spread the news. Spread the news. More announcements to come. Stay safe and be well. This is Dr. Latoya Wells with Wells Legacy Health and Wellness. It's been a pleasure being here tonight with you for Wellness Wednesday. Have an amazing evening. Bye.